The Recon class. Something in Battlefield 5 that should be feared is if played correctly, can help play a huge part in winning flags and even turn the tide of entire matches for your team. With one-shot potential, spawn beacons, and even spotting flares, Recon packs a punch and is irritating to play against for most people. This is Spy's Guide to Recon. Yo, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Spy, and in this video, I'll be going over the Recon class and explaining ways to play it. I see a lot of people gravitate towards this class, as well as ask me if I like to use snipers while I'm live. It's niche, but I know that there are a lot of people out there that like sniping instead of playing with assault rifles or SMGs. Also, if you didn't already know, I do stream Battlefield over on Twitch most days of the week at around 11 PM New Zealand time. So feel free to come over and hang out, as we'll be streaming the shit out of Battlefield 2042 in October once that releases. Personally, Recon isn't one of my go-to classes on Battlefield 5, purely because my specific playstyle suits the other three classes much better. This does not mean Recon is useless, but in my case I provide more impact on medic, assault or support. In the right hands, Recon can be pretty powerful with a wide selection of bolt actions, self-loading rifles, pistol carbines, with the exception of the M3 infrared and anti-material rifles. So first up, I want to talk about picking your combat role. This is the absolute make or break for Recon, so make sure you're taking the sniper role. This allows you to spot any enemies when hitting them with a bullet from any gun in the class. You can also hold your breath for longer when ADS, and the duration is extended with each headshot kill you acquire. Spotting is crazy good here, as you don't even have to headshot people or even kill them. You are such a pest by body shotting, spotting, and wasting the other guy's medkit. You're essentially forcing the enemy to not only move because he needs meds, but you are also turning your team's attention to a massive red diamond on his head, as well as your team's minimap. In comparison to this, you have the Pathfinder role, and to be quite honest, it's pretty bad. Although you could benefit from the advanced sniping trait, it's just not worth it in my opinion. If you do want to use it though, feel free. I'm not here to tell you what to use and what not to use. Now we move on to gun selection. With snipers, each one does their job pretty well, so in my opinion it comes down to personal preference. I can recommend some weapons and the specs I like to use, and some of the weapons that aren't fully leveled up I'll give the specs I would choose if I was to have that gun leveled up. Bolt actions, I'd be using the Krag, the Arisaka, and the Kar98. All using left, right, right, right specs. Both pistol carbines are very good, so on the PO8 I would go left, right, right, left. As for the trench carbine, I would go all right. Lastly, for the weapons, you have the M3 infrared and the ZH29. With a fire rate of 450, the infrared becomes a spotting machine, and the ZH29 can be used like a SAR and basically 2-tap at most ranges. Probably the strongest weapons in the class, yet they don't promote a sniper playstyle at all. Up to you if you want to use them, but usually I stay clear myself. Moving away from the weapons, we begin to look into the equipment slots. Slot 1 orients itself around spotting. For the longest time, I have been using the flare gun, but upon using the class more for the purpose of this video, I came across the doppelschuss, which does a job of spotting, but the flares are actually sticky and they do not hover. These could be better, as you could arc them on top of buildings where they can't be shot. You can also stick these to vehicles and drive around the map spotting enemies if you really wanted to. Again, this is personal preference, so do whatever suits your playstyle. In the second equipment slot, you have quite a few options here, but I personally believe that the spawn beacon is your best friend. As a sniper, you want to be in a position to be able to reveal enemies with your flares, be able to be of use to your squad by providing them with a place to spawn in, as well as making an impact on the game by making impactful plays for your team. The spawn beacon allows you to do this and gives you more freedom as well as more spawn options. You may also take things like AP mines if in a good position, or the decoys if you feel like trolling the other team a little bit. As for grenades, as mentioned in my previous video on the medic class, Recon and Medic are the only two classes that are able to select smoke grenades. I go into a bit more depth on the other video, but essentially this is portable cover. They are a must use on Recon. While sniping you may need to reposition, and being able to smoke angles and create cover is insanely powerful for your rotations and giving yourself the upper hand in positioning. I would describe Recon as the most universal class in terms of playstyle in the same way I would describe the Assault class. Heaps of different styled weapons that really lets you play the class your way, whether that's aggressive, pushing objectives, and fragging out, or being that guy flanking and spotting for your team in a more supportive role. I like to play a mix of playstyles on Recon where I'll push to use my flares to spot out a flag and support my team that way, then I will play semi-passive on a head glitch or cover and try my best to pick people off. Recon isn't my best class, but it can actually be really enjoyable on the right map and the right server. I do think the class is pretty strong when it comes to things like spotting, the infrared, and the borderline abuse of the attrition system, but all in all, it's a very solid class for players of all skill levels, so definitely try it out if you haven't leveled it or gone out and used it yourself. Anyways, that's all for today's video. As always, thank you guys so much if you watched the video all the way through. We're going to be bringing this energy all the way through to Battlefield 2042, so if this video was any help to you, please consider subscribing. That's all from me. See you guys in the next one. Peace.